Our next guest is the voice behind what's described as one of the most patriotic songs in America. He introduced former President Donald Trump last night at the Republican National Convention. Country singer-songwriter Lee Greenwood performing his hit, God Bless the USA, while Mr. Trump entered the Pfizer Arena. The 81-year-old musician has participated in several Trump rallies over the years, and last night enthusiastically introducing him as the, quote, 47th President of the United States. Well, Lee joins us now from the arena in Wisconsin. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Great to see you again. Every time I hear that song, I just get chills and brings tears to my eyes.
Thank you, Anna. I've sang it for an awful long time. This is the 40th anniversary of the writing and release of God Bless the U.S.A. on MCA. And so it's been a pride
pipes still sound amazing.
To actually...
They really do. They
Thank you.
still sound amazing. But some performers, they've shied away or even refused to be associated with former President Trump. But you've said in past interviews, even when I've interviewed you before, you know, you feel very patriotic and you're somebody who actually even sees Trump events as a badge of honor. What do you mean?
Well, I align myself with what I believe is one of America's greatest patriots, and somebody who definitely has America first in his heart, and as proven by the attempted assassination on former President Trump, his defiance and his willing to go ahead and move forward to make sure that the nation knows that he's still strong. We're very proud of him. And as you know, the word suddenly became common among all media that it caused faith in the nation. That's the first and foremost thing we need to make sure we understand, is that President Trump is all about the faith and the belief that this is a one nation under God still, and he will make that part of his campaign.
You have performed at a lot of Trump rallies, and when you're not there very often, your music still plays. But how was last night's RNC different? I mean, he had a different look about him, and I don't mean just having the bandage on his ear where he'd been shot, but he had a different look on his face. What was the energy like from him and also from the crowd?
Well, from the crowd, it was amazing. I mean, I stepped on stage with the band that used to work for me, and they're all fabulous, and they've been playing all the breaks between speakers. So the electric energy within the arena was fabulous. And to tell you the truth, from where I was standing, I could barely see the president on the other side of the arena as he was coming into the arena. But I introduced him, and then suddenly everything just erupted. I noticed that the president was moving rather slow. He was only just for a second, you could tell that he had probably exhausted from what he had just been through. I mean, come on, you know, somebody just took a shot at him, and he had been through all of that emotions physically, but he was still energetic. I mean, you could see he was smiling. The introduction, of course, of the vice president now from Ohio. We're proud of that, the vice president nomination, and already announced. And so I think his appearance there was extremely important to let the caucus of the RNC understand that he is still their candidate.
Yes, well, I think two moments in time that have happened in the last, not even 3 days. That image of him with his fist above his head, with the American flag behind him and the blood on his face, and then also the bandage on his ear here being seen for the first time at the RNC. What does that mean to you to be part of that moment in history?
Well, this isn't my first RNC, but as we came in here yesterday early on because the president asked us to be here so I could sing live for him. And as you know, he's used my song the entire time at his former campaign and now this one as well. And it was just, it makes me feel so proud to be an American at this point, if I use that phrase, and to be involved in this process, this democratic process to elect another president. And I'm so hopeful, as I introduced him last night, the 47th President of the United States will be Donald J. Trump. So we're hopeful that takes place.
Well, it's a beautiful piece of music. The lyrics are amazing, and it really appeals to both sides of the aisle. It just happened to be there last night. Lee Greenwood, thank you for your time today.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.